Snuck it in before the show started, I think.
I think I'm gonna bench myself, and then we're gonna get another guy in here.
Oh,
yeah.
Younger guy?
Yeah, younger guy. Yeah, I mean, once you hit 35, it really is just matter of time.
Can I have Garrett from Football Analysis?
Sure.
Or Benchwarmer Brand?
Sure.
Definitely not Cole.
No.
Don't want those Chiefs.
No.
Not Scooter. This would just become the Cowboy show with some other football stuff.
Yep, sure.
And how old's Scooter now? He's getting up there.
I think he's a little bit younger than me, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think, right, was I the youngest in clickbait?
I don't know.
I don't feel young anymore.
Life's getting you. Welcome to the club, mother licker.
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Nailed it.
In an odd twist, I actually go older and I replace you with Dan Patrick.
Oh, okay.
He's going to retire soon.
What about bringing some Al Michaels there? Just Thursday Night Football can only last so long. I feel like you could ask him a bunch of questions.
Yeah, we'll just eat a steak every show. No veggies.
Perna got a fitty.
Whoa!
So starting off early.
7-minute mark of the latest bootleg football episode. Trust me, you'll want to see that. You'll want not to see that. Dane, you type like me, my friend.
All
right, I'll go to that mark. What am I going to find there, Dane?
Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis, people.
All right, I'm going to go there now, Dane.
You just do it right during the show.
Let's just play bootlegs episode.
Bootleg. We're bootlegging bootleg football.
Yeah, that makes too much sense.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Let's see what Brett and EJ are up to at 7 minutes.
We got some breaking news that broke about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago that Joe Flacco has officially been benched by the Cleveland Browns after losing to the Detroit Lions. It's crazy. You beat the Packers and you think you got the whole world in front of you, and then you play the Detroit Lions. And so Dillon Gabriel, the draft pick from the most recent draft, is going to be starting this Sunday. And that's going to be interesting, because if you've watched any Cleveland Browns football this year, you'll know their defense pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Their offense pretty darn bad. But Judkins now for 2 weeks in a row.
Who did the Browns last beat? Wasn't the Lions?
I just said the Packers.
Who was their last victory against?
Yeah, it's Green Bay Packers. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just double checking.
Yep. 13-10. They scored all those points in the last 4 minutes of the game. So yeah, we haven't won since then. The Packers haven't won a game since the first week of football, because they played on Thursday. So it literally was Sunday where they beat the Lions. Then Thursday they beat the Commanders. And then I have gone without seeing winning Packers football since really that second week of September.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in Wisconsin saying that the Browns might have the greatest defense of all time.
And then they played the Lions, so it didn't look that great after that.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Dillon Gabriel getting the start there.
Good on Chunk, man. I knew he could do it.
It's a tough start for Dillon. He's got to go to London, right? He's got to go to London to get his first start. Nothing more American than that.
And Satan's already waiting for them there.
Yes, you got the Vikings with that Brian Flores defense, who we saw. Was it Bears Vikings? Was that week 1 or week 2?
Bears Vikings was week 1 Monday Night Football.
Okay, yeah, because I think the Manning cast had that on there, and Peyton Manning was confused by the Brian Flores defense.
Yes, because he was just like, they're doing things that I didn't expect them to do.
Yeah, he's like, I could have sworn they were in man, but they were in zone. They tricked me. Manning doesn't get tricked, or he's just getting old. I don't know. But we saw this coming. We knew it's the right move for the Browns.
Yeah.
Flacco's not giving them what they had hoped. And now you move on to your rookie. Obviously, you got Shedeur Sanders there. He's not going to start, but he's going to be a story this week. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. Dillon Gabriel, I think, is going into a very good situation for himself in terms of he's replacing Joe Flacco, who's been playing horribly.
Yeah, it hasn't been great.
No, I mean, he just hasn't been good.
Enough to beat the Packers, but...
Yeah, he just hasn't played well, hasn't been effective. He's got a guy behind him who's getting more attention than him and has since the draft.
Correct.
So he's just been under the radar. And I think in the preseason, we saw Dillon Gabriel do some nice things after a rough initial start there. But I think with that defense, with Quinshon Judkins looking decent, Gabriel can come in and he doesn't really have to do a lot, in my opinion, to feel like an upgrade for the Browns. For the first time in a while, and I'm going to be cautious here, Cleveland, you should have a little hope. A little hope in Dillon Gabriel. Maybe not week 1 or his week 1 against Minnesota, but I kind of like it. I'm kind of very cautiously optimistic about this move for the Browns, Tom.
If Jackson Dart can do it and beat the undefeated Chargers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said in Power Rankings.
Why not? Why not?
Well, fuck it. Just let's let it rip, baby.
Because you and I have been talking about Cleveland, and it's just like at some point, right? Like you drafted these guys, and Joe Flacco is not going to be your franchise guy, right? Like that. No. The sun has set on his time.
I mean, the Ravens realized that, 6 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, like they didn't even want to give him that other contract when they won the Super Bowl. They were just like, oh, I guess we gotta. All right, here we go. Jordan Love right now is top 5 in passing yards and top 3 in passing touchdowns. So it ain't on him, buddy.
Love's been fine.
But in terms of Dillon Gabriel, it just seems like it's evaluation time of let's see what we got. Let's see if the guy can give a spark to that offense at all, because it has looked pretty lackadaisical. And when you put up the turnovers that Flacco's committing to, the Cleveland Browns, we've been talking about them as a potential playoff team if they had even like an above average offense, right? Can get up because that defense is still pretty damn good. They're just getting gassed at the end. So I feel like if you see what you got in Dillon Gabriel for a few weeks, see if he's the guy. And if he's not, then maybe you rock with Shedeur for a couple of weeks, because that's what the Cleveland Browns did, right? They drafted a couple of quarterbacks. This is the position that they find themselves in after trading for Deshaun Watson. That blew up in their face. And now it goes, all right, well, let's put somebody behind center and let's see if this thing goes.
Yeah. I'm rooting for Dillon. I think he can come in, run the ball effectively, give the backs a chance to establish some dominance in the trenches there for your line. And then quick passes, just get the ball out quickly, Dillon. And I think that's going to do the Browns a lot of favors.
Yeah.
What was the Browns defensive stat I freaking saw? Oh my God. I can't remember. Some impressive stat. Here's what's funny though. Okay. Oh no, Bucky Irving with the foot sprain.
Yeah.
I
was just talking about Bucky Irving too. Damn.
Yeah, he's so good. The Ravens. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. All right. So a couple weeks ago, there was a report from Adam Schefter that Shedeur Sanders said no to the Ravens. They wanted to draft him in the 5th round. He said, here's a bird for you, you stupid bird team. I don't want to come to play for your successful franchise. I'm going to roll the dice and see if Cleveland can draft me.
I think what does Sanders have against Sanders? Because as Perna's about to allude to, he could be starting right now for the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't think
Derrick
the league
Henry
has
to be able to
anything
hand the ball off
against
to.
Sanders. I think Shedeur should have said yes to the Ravens. And 2 weeks ago when I made a video, I said, you know what? Lamar Jackson misses time sometimes.
You did.
Before they paid him, what did they use against Lamar? Oh, he can't stay healthy. Remember that BS, Tom? Can't stay healthy. I said, Shedeur going to the Ravens, there's a good chance he would start either by Lamar missing a little time or the Ravens blowing out teams. That's not happening now because we know. I don't think we've ever gone dancing, JMO. Dancing, not really. I don't find that it's not a fun activity, in my opinion.
It's just a dancer?
No, Just Dance is like Elaine from Seinfeld.
Perfect.
She does Elaine better than Elaine. But I thought, and we're seeing a situation right now. Had Shedeur went to Baltimore, there's a chance he's getting the nod this week.
Yeah, likely.
There's a chance. Now, a lot of people he wouldn't have gotten the backup gig in Baltimore. Maybe not. But what we know is he didn't do enough to impress Stefanski to get QB2. And it makes sense. They drafted Dillon ahead of him, so they were obviously higher on Dillon Gabriel. And I think Dillon does something much more effectively than Shedeur right now, and I think Dillon can just get rid of the ball quickly. Shedeur's thing has been holding on to the ball too long, probably not reading the field the way you want an NFL quarterback to do so, and the issue with that is he has a quarter of his father's athleticism in terms of escaping pressure and making plays that way. So I don't think the NFL has anything against Shedeur. I think we wanted there to be a conspiracy there. And I like him. I'm rooting for Shedeur as well.
Sure.
He was great for Colorado, but
chances are now we're probably going to see him at some point during this season, right? Unless Dillon Gabriel just goes crazy. Yeah. That is an insane stat. The Browns are now one starting QB away from having as many starters since 1999, 41, as the U.S. has had different presidents since the War of 1812, 42.
Will and I have been tracking this stat for a while now, Alex. Thank you for this is a Will Keys stat. I swear Will's written that in so many times. We've said this a lot, but yeah. Dillon,
incredible.
41. Would Shedeur become 42? Possibly?
That's incredible. That is since 1999.
I'm rooting for Dillon, the short man.
Oh, God. Oh, that's a good question. He's one of the first or few rookie QBs to start his first game outside the country. Ooh.
Wasn't a rookie, but Carson Wentz got his first official start. No, he started the week before. Never mind.
That's a good question, Z. He might be. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. That's a good question. It's a good stat, too. Good Jeopardy question. Yeah, I mean, again, I think if you're Cleveland, obviously, you saw, as you just mentioned, Perna, in the draft process, they liked Dillon Gabriel. I mean, they drafted him pretty darn early. So, they liked him there, and then they let him compete in camp, and, Dillon Gabriel won it out. So, yeah, man, I would say it can't get much worse for that offense in terms of just you are, at best, I think, treading water with Flacco. And you're just okay, this is just, you're going to get probably a whole bunch of meh, but sometimes you'll have some good plays. And that's about it. And considering we're heading into October, we're starting week 5, and the Browns have won one game. Oh, that sucks. It's against us. They won one game. Yeah. Gotta find some kind of spark here. I mean, just give him time. Give him a few weeks and see what you got.
No, I think, there's a little bit of upside there with Dillon. I think their offense is just going to look better. It's going to look better as a whole.
It's not going to be the worst offense in the division right now after that Monday night game. Holy God. Holy God.
Okay.
We could do
Hold on. I wanted to look at something real quick before we go backwards, Tom.
I went wrong.
I wanted to look at something with Joe Flacco. Let's stay on track here. Ba-ba-ba-bum.
It'll be a few.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
We'll see.
God damn it.
What'd you got?
Here we go.
Joe Flacco.
Here we go. Joe Flacco.
Mm.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, that's a good question, TR. Curse wheel mythology question. Does the wheel create the curse, or does it merely reveal to us which team the football gods have already cursed? I've always thought it was which ones the football gods have already cursed. Right? Like the wheel is the conduit between us mortals and the football gods. But we could ask Brandon what he thinks.
I would say the wheel, it points to what the football gods want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. I like that.
I just wanted to see how much money Joe Flacco made himself because of that run he went on with the Browns in 2023. And basically, he's earned himself an extra near $9 million. So, he thought his career was over.
It's true, Kyle.
He thought he was done making money in the NFL right around here, right?
Yep.
And then
off
boom,
the couch.
$9 extra million. Well, we'll call it like 6.5 after taxes, but that's a nice little nest egg Joe got himself.
I would say so.
To add to his career earnings of $184 million. There you go, Joe. There, I was thinking about that this morning.
$184 million.
Now, how much Joe had made, because he wasn't very good he was fine in Indy last year, and then he gets another shot here in Cleveland. I'm like, it's just because he had that tear at the end of the 2023 season with the Browns. That was close to $9 million.
Yep. Yankees, it did. I actually got to see that real quick while I was pooping this morning, and I was like, this looks pretty good. Pretty good. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, let's talk about Monday Night Football. You could talk about your Broncos. They defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 28-3. Yes. And their defense looked real good. Right? The Bengals had no answer for nothing. And also, we saw how bad the Bengals offense is. That was hard to watch at times. I mean, it was so funny because during the game, I'm barely doing anything besides calling the game or whatever the hell Monday night we did. But Aikman afterwards, right, was talking about how bad I saw the clips of how bad the product was. He's just this flag, it's the right call, but good God, it's not net. Because I think at that point, Cincinnati had 10 penalties against them. Mm-hmm. It was some crazy number. Yeah, man, it's
we saw both games Monday night were over officiated. I think that's 37, a very fair.
37 accepted penalties between the two games.
Yeah.
A lot.
And he's right. He's like, nothing brings a broadcast to a screeching halt like too many penalties. And he brings up a good point.
I wouldn't.
You want to officiate the games correctly, right? When a penalty's a penalty, you want to call it.
Of course.
And he's talking about the rule the NFL implemented where you can't hit a guy from the side if they're both running towards if they're at the line of scrimmage. I forget exactly how it's written. There's a 15-yard penalty, whatever. And the point I think Troy's making about it being unnecessary is that it happens away from the play. One, it doesn't really affect the play. Two, there's no chance of anybody getting injured the way that block was executed, right? It's just one of those things. If you're a ref, you just kind of got to let go in that situation because it didn't matter. Same with the weird false start they called on the Bengals when the center did his head. They just got that wrong. Probably should have been on the Broncos. And what was the other weird penalty? Anyway, he's right. Some of those you just got to let go. The NFL's they've got to talk to all of the officials. Be like, because it wasn't just these games. I think the Chargers, they were the most penalized team last week. I think they had, oh my God, I think they had 17 penalties. I forget.
Insane.
And again, if it's obvious things like false starts and all this other shit, fine. Egregious pass interference, fine. But like some of them, the flow of the game, it is.
Oh, the flow of the game was tough on Monday.
Yeah, and then when it's a blowout as well, like, come on. That's what Troy's saying. They're up 21-3. The Broncos have dominated this game, and you're calling these flags now? Let us just go home. That's what he's saying. Let us go home because
he's like,
nobody wants to be here anymore.
Free us, please, from this football prison. Yeah, I feel like
penalty, yes.
It's so funny, too, because it's completely dependent on the game. Because you look at the Packers-Cowboys game, and obviously it went a little bit longer because it went to the end of overtime. But there were a ton of penalties in that game, too.
Yeah.
And you still would look and be like, oh, that's a missed holding call. That's a missed holding call. Because if we're being very honest, on almost every single play, we could call holding, right?
Yeah.
Like there's always going to be some kind of hold, especially when, I mean, you mentioned this on Monday, right? Against like star pass rushers, you're going to see it a whole lot more. And so because of that, refs are not going to call it every single play. But yeah, it just feels like finding the balance. And I know that because it's the start of the season, you're going to have refs be a little bit more flag happy, right? Because they're trying to set the tone and what have you. But when you have a game like Monday night, and that was the thing too, it wasn't even the Broncos because, dude, they had over 500 offensive yards, right? The first down's insane, 29-9 is a blowout of every metric.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, there needs to be some kind of situational awareness.
Yeah.
Good God, man. Like this is brutal.
I think they've got to get better at it, but I don't think it's going to happen because any chance he gets, Roger Goodell says he believes the officiating is as good as it's ever been. So I don't know if they actually see it as a concern. They're too busy thinking about how they're going to get rid of the tush push and other bullshit like that. Just let guys play a little bit. The other thing from this game, and I did a little post-game recap after this because I was buzzed, honestly.
Oh, buddy, I know. I was
a little buzzed.
I was editing the video and I was popping it. It was phenomenal.
I said, you go check out the Packers-Eagles recap. I did. You guys played the Cowboys.
Yep.
But somebody afterwards said, I thought I was pessimistic. I can't believe you're not hired like on the Broncos after this game.
Good guy.
And my thought was, my honest takeaway from this game was that the Bengals might just be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Broncos should have won by more points. The Broncos left chances on the field, and that's what bothered me. And I'm just trying to keep my expectations real about the Broncos because as nice as all this shit looks, I just think the Bengals are down that bad. I feel like the Bengals played worse than the Broncos did when the Dolphins put up 70 on them. Okay. And the Broncos, they should have won this game at least 35-3. I think it should have been a little more than that. So yeah, I still have questions. There are things out there too, and it's a good win. I'm going to take it. We needed it.
Sure.
But like they're talking about like Surtain locking down Jamar Chase in this game. Surtain always does a decent job against the top receivers, but Jake Browning couldn't get him the fucking ball. Yeah. Like how do we know like how well Surtain did in this? This is not a good game to talk about Surtain covering Jamar Chase because he didn't have a quarterback throwing it to him.
He did not.
Jake Browning couldn't get the ball anywhere in this game. And those are all nice things about the defense. We know the Broncos defense is good. I'm waiting to see the Broncos have an offensive game like this against a team that doesn't give up. And we said it during the stream, but I haven't seen a team just give up in a game where I felt like the effort just was gone like Cincinnati did. So, yes.
Baltimore kind of did that against the Chiefs, but yes, I mean, it seemed pretty early. They were just like phoning it in.
Baltimore, they're like, oh yeah, Lamar's out. Okay, whatever. But like, that's why I'm not giving this win as much credit as if they did this to the Joe Burrow Bengals. Sure.
Oh,
I
man.
would be the most annoying person on earth this week.
This is a true story. So as soon as we ended the stream, Perna and I were like in the lobby for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we like started breaking down football. Like we actually, like the stream ended And we're like, yeah, let's talk about some offensive lines. And I completely and totally agree with you, right? Because the defense of the Broncos, there hasn't, besides that Colts game, there really hasn't been concern about them all season.
No.
We know that their pass rush is good. We know that their secondary is good. Riley Moss could be either or, depends on the day.
People are so split on Riley Moss.
Good. Depends on the day, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at the offense and you're like, okay, yes, there are missed opportunities there. There are some throws that you're like, oh, I don't know about that. You and I we were talking about this at the end, that the Broncos they're not a normal rushing team. For whatever reason, they are just very against here, we're just going to do a basic handoff. Here you go, right? Like single back set and run the ball. And we were is it because of the interior offensive line that they don't believe in? Because they kept doing these pitches to the outside and trying to get those to work. And J.K. Dobbins, I'm sorry, I legit thought that was a joke of a stat. I literally didn't think that was a thing. It had been over 2 years since we saw the Broncos have a 100-yard rusher in a game. That is an insane, and I get it. Sean Payton, right? Wants to split with everybody. I get it. But J.K. Dobbins was finding a ton of traditional success in this game. Yeah. And it's especially for a young quarterback, and you're telling me Evan Ingram, it's a surprise when he catches the ball, which is not the biggest surprise ever. The Jaguars cut him. But that need for a run game and also a reliable tight end for a young quarterback is insanely important. Yeah. Right? And I just feel like that is going to be hopefully where you see their offense evolve throughout the season, is that they're able to establish that run.
Yeah, I think what Sean did in this game, and I could be wrong, I was happy with the way the Broncos ran the ball in this game. They don't need to do the pitches, especially on a 3rd and 2, and you pitch it 7 yards backwards. That's fine. You can try those in different situations. But what they did in this game is, I think they took out some of the guesswork for Bo Nix, and they just called straight up run plays, and they haven't done that. It's I think Sean Payton has been used to every play is you put it in the quarterback's hands. It's an RPO. You've got 2 options every time, or you're calling one and you got a quarterback who's going to change from a run to a pass because he did that with Drew Brees for so long. I think the best thing you can do for Bo Nix, and I hope they keep doing it, is there's 30 rushing attempts. Yes. Do that every week. I want J.K. Dobbins to get 20 carries every single week. I want you to call the run. I don't want a fucking check down to something else. I don't want the play altered at the line. Line up to run it and then run it, because every time we are told every week how good the Broncos offensive line is.
Sure.
And yet they're, the rushing stats, there are actually the Broncos rushing stats are stacking up. I think they're getting the picture now, because I think they're 4th in the league or something. And I also, the J.K. Dobbins comeback story, it started in LA last year, but he is and RJ Harvey's, he's starting to figure it out. But J.K. Dobbins, he's just the best. He's the best back on the roster. He has incredible vision. He's explosive.
I'm so happy
give him
for
30
him, man.
touches. Or sorry, give him at least 20 touches, mix in RJ Harvey. And I think that's how you succeed moving forward. Sure. And dude, Dobbins is quickly becoming one of my favorite players. And at this juncture, Talanoa Hufanga's been great at safety, but Dobbins has been hands down the best free agent signing they had. And that came late. It was not the sexiest one. I'm confessing I love J.K. Dobbins. I love him, and I want him here forever.
I mean, dude, I loved him when he was in Baltimore, right? Yeah. And I mean, him and Gus the Bus Edwards, it was damn, they're a fun... We just saw them so little on the field together, because if it wasn't one guy who was injured, it was the other. And then it was all right, he goes to LA and you kind of wonder, is that it? Right. But like you said, kind of has this renaissance a bit. So no, it's awesome to see him running, because he can obviously still go. I think the Colts are more real than I thought they were after the first 3 weeks, because of what they could have won that game against the Rams. It wasn't for A.D. Mitchell. I think and I think the Rams are a good team. So
they're a very good team. I think the Colts played better in that game. They just lost because of 2 plays, basically. Taunting flags are ridiculous, Josh. We all know that.
The taunting, it's such a... it's a pointless penalty, man. Like it's football, like if you get a big play, you get to celebrate, you get to talk some smack. And you know what happens? You're the defense or you're the offense in that situation who didn't make the big play. You have another down to try and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you could do it. Like, as long as it's not so egregious where it's delaying the game, who cares?
I think it's easy. You can have taunting. Here's the rule, Tom. If you talk about someone's mother, it's talking. Talk about someone's mother, it is taunting. Anything else, fair game.
Fair, actually.
Anything else you want, any other junk you want to talk, it's fine. But if you bring in their mother, nope. That's
what about grandmother?
Grannies are fair game.
Grannies are fair
game.
Okay. All right.
Unless, here's the caveat.
Okay,
if it's a yo mama so fat joke, you can get away with it.
Okay, but you had to start it like that.
Yeah.
That was that MTV back in the day, yo mama?
Yeah. Yo mama so fat when she sits around the house, she sits around the house, Tom.
I think you would have been great on that.
We used to do those battles at recess.
Yeah.
We would have your mom so fat battles.
Of course. Yeah, I blame the coaches and players for committing all the penalties. Well, I mean, it's not the coaching, but yeah, you can look at the lack of discipline in some areas definitely is a bit of a problem. And it's also, this is going to be the sloppiest time of year for football because it's the beginning of the season for every single team. So there's going to be more penalties that are going to be committed. Officials are going to throw more flags, and you kind of get what you had.
Okay, Willie, the composer, go back to making music. Willie, blame the players for committing the penalties. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here, Willie.
Yeah, Spencer, the Bengals, after that offensive display against the Broncos, they now have to play the Lions on Sunday.
Yeah. The Lions might set the scoring record this week. And it's not because the Bengals actually have the worst defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
They just have no offense.
No.
And the Lions defense been playing pretty good.
This is going to be like, listen, Nova and Nebula haven't been getting along the best, the two cats that I have. After watching Sunday's game, it's going to be, I'm not going to feel as bad anymore because that cat on cat violence is going to be, it's going to be bad.
Come on, Lions, give us 73 points, baby.
I don't know what's worse, Alex. The fact that the Bengals, Jake Browning threw for 125 yards, and that's pretty terrible, or the fact that Cam Ward threw for less. And I'm not even insulting Cam Ward.
Well, I would say Browning's worse because he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Correct. Yes. It's just, it's like you said, you have the two Ferraris that are sitting there.
And it's like Jake Browning's played with them before. He's been with the Bengals for a while now. If you can't come in and get the ball to those two guys, like that just sucks. And it's not all on him, but if the Bengals want to save their season, they got to figure out something else.
They need to get a different quarterback in there. Like they have to, right?
And I understand they're going to be too fucking cheap. Mike Brown's gonna be like, I'm not paying for one.
And dude, it's just they just doled out so much money. They did.
The Bengals are the only team who I swear to God could trade for a quarterback today, and tomorrow that new backup quarterback would already have a contract dispute with the team.
I know we were talking about it on Monday, but like legitimately, Jameis Winston makes so much sense.
Do it. Pull the trigger.
Or just that offense will actually go. He might throw a bunch of interceptions. Don't get me wrong, but it is better than what this is right now.
You need something, man. And Jake Browning,
horrific.
He's like a quarterback who he can come in when your offensive line's playing well and, keep the ship afloat for a quarter or a half at this point. I thought he was more than that, but you've got another 2 months to figure out before you can even think about Joe Burrow possibly coming back. At this rate, Joe's not going to play this year. Like, by the time he's healthy, this team's going to be so out of it.
Yeah. And then what's the point, right?
I knew since he was struggling, right? You lose a quarterback like Joe, that's going to happen. I don't blame the Bengals for not being as good without Joe Burrow. He is,
of course,
one of the best quarterbacks in the game, but I was just so I felt so bad for Cincy after the way the Broncos beat them because the Broncos didn't even play their best football and we fucking destroyed them, Tom.
Yeah.
If they played I don't know, one of the top 5 teams in the league, it would have just been a massacre.
That's like they're playing the Lions on Sunday. It is going to be ugly, man.
If the craziest thing that could happen is the Bengals beat the Lions this week.
Correct. Jerry Dan, this is why I love Eagles fans. As an Eagles fan, I'm glad we're at 4-0, but the offense is not to my liking. It's pretty early, but what point do we fire our OC? Football has never been more back. It has never been more back. I don't know, man. You got to play full 4 quarters of football, right? Yeah. Last week, you didn't play a good first half of football. And now it was this week, you didn't play a good second half of football. Yeah. Just got to put it together. Maybe, give it a month before you start,
give it a month, dude.
Heaven head roll. Just
Here's my thought, Dirty Dan. I'm very worried about Saquon Barkley as a Broncos fan because we got to play the Eagles. He hasn't had a great game this year, and I feel like he's about to against Denver. So it's just you got to get Saquon to that next level. He has not been able to get past that first level and break those big runs, and I feel like that's going to happen against the Broncos. But
see, that's the thing, T, and that's because that's what Bengals fans have been talking about too, and we started talking about this on Monday night. Is Zach Taylor, right? Like that seat seems to be pretty warm. The question is, this is coming from a fan perspective. Is this how the front office feels, or does Joe Burrow being out afford Zach Taylor that excuse of, hey, this is why the team's not doing well. We lost our, all-star quarterback. And I don't know the answer to that. And I think everybody's in agreement that if the Bengals don't do anything this season, in that they don't trade for a quarterback, they don't go and try to get somebody out of free agent, like something to try and make that offense better. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what you do because at the end of this season, you fire everyone. I mean, like Trey Hendrickson's going to be gone after this year.
I got the solution, Tom.
You just trade him and try to get something. Oh my God, what a disaster!
Well, I don't know if you try to trade. Maybe if Trey wants to get traded.
If Brandon, by like week 7, that nope, we're not making any moves. Like this is our team this year.
But if I'm Trey, I don't let them trade me. I say, you made me fucking come play here. Now I'm going to sit here and you're not getting anything from me. In fact, my hamstring hurts. My hamstring hurts pretty bad, and I'm going to rest up.
Yeah.
I take the petty road if I'm Trey. What I do if I'm the Bengals, don't do anything, okay? Don't do anything. Tank your season. Get that really high draft pick. Fire Zach Taylor after this season. You got to clean house in the coaching department. I go out, I hire Robert Saleh as my head coach, and I hire the recently fired Mike McDaniel as my offensive coordinator. Boom. Problem solved.
He's probably going to get fired, so yeah.
Robert Saleh gets the defense playing great. You got Mike McDaniel with Joe Burrow. Are you kidding me? That's how you fix them.
Pretty fun. Yes, Ricky, that's also a really good point. The offensive line, which wasn't good last year too, and that's why they drafted Mims, right, to try and make it a little bit better for Burrow. But we've been having this conversation ever since they drafted Jamar Chase, because it was the Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell draft pick, right? And it worked out that they went to the Super Bowl. The problem is, like, they have some great wide receivers, but they still don't have an offensive line. And so maybe, Ricky, like, if there's any saving grace that comes out of this Bengals season, which is bound to be pretty terrible unless they turn things around, maybe they can go get the best offensive lineman in the draft, where they're sitting. Yeah. That is like a one shining beacon that's there of like, okay, maybe this would get me through 3 months of Bengals football. But yeah, it's about it.
I would say how many wins did Robert Saleh get with Zach Wilson?
More than without him.
Have you seen the Jets without him? Did the Jets improve? I don't think he was a great head coach. I think he's learned a lot. I think the Jets defense played very well when he was there. I want the Bengals to have a defensive-minded head coach because they have Joe Burrow and just bring in a hot offensive coordinator. That's why I would do it.
You take from the Bucs and the loss. Seems like their success is unsustainable and they aren't a great team. I disagree completely.
They're a girthy team.
They're a girthy team too. But nah, man, I think that their biggest problem is that people are getting injured left and right. Now Bucky Irving getting hurt. Like, is that not good coffee?
No, there's some grounds at the bottom of it.
Gotcha. No, I think that they're a good squad. And man, Igbuka already, making an argument for offensive rookie of the year. Godwin just coming back and they battle back in that Eagles game.
Man.
Like the Eagles are a good football team. You can make an argument that they're one of the better teams in the league, if not the best. And they haven't even been playing a full 4 quarters. So, I think they're good. It's just a matter of how many injuries is going to be too many.
Yeah.
Having works back helps though. And they're going to have a point where they're going to have Igbuka, Godwin, and Evans on the field at the same time.
Yeah. And just once Gadecki will come back at some point, they should get better. And the Buccaneers, they have typically sucked in October in the Todd Bowles era. So if they can stay 500 in October, then you're going to know more about this team. I like the Bucs. They're not perfect. They're a little flawed, but
they're a gritty team. And I'm sorry, their competition's the Falcons, in the NFC South, right? They don't have to worry about the Saints. They don't got to worry about the Panthers. Sorry, but it's the Falcons, and they already beat them once, and they were already down Wirfs and Godwin. So, Perna got a 50 from King Andrew.
Join the Mile High Club with Brandon Perna here at Mile High Stadium. Do I have to sleep with everybody who shows up?
Yep.
Is this a Bonnie Blue situation?
Poser.
USA.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
USA. Dear please.
I feel like we've all aged significantly since the Russell Wilson era.
It took a toll on all of us.
I think it did.
It really, really
mind, body, and spirit
did.
But I love sex.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth.
I don't watch porn.
Jameis or Cousins? Jameis makes more sense, and it's just because he's going to be cheaper and easier. I mean, the contract is a joke compared to Cousins.
Yeah,
Cousins got some playing time a couple weeks ago, so
Cousins had some Ferraris in Atlanta too, and he didn't do shit with them. Now, Jameis Winston might crash that Ferrari into a fucking brick wall going 120 miles an hour.
True.
But he's going to drive that thing. Jameis going to drive that Ferrari. Both Ferraris.
Maybe it's just because I have not been engaging with it. How is getting Bad Bunny to play the Super Bowl political?
How's that? Yeah, I don't get it.
I
guess what? I don't care.
Oh no, he's gonna sing some songs in Spanish. Oh,
Español, por favor. Yo planto mi verga en el jardín.
Let's put it this way. Bad Bunny, regardless, I know of Bad Bunny. It was the most streamed guy on Spotify. I had heard of him. Dude, I know him from WWE when he wrestled Damian Priest in Puerto Rico, and it was one of the greatest entrances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I know that he puts on a show. The spectacle, I think, is going to be awesome. So, I think he'll put on a good show. If it's not your kind of music, all right, man, who cares? I'm going to make plenty of halftime shows that I thought sucked because they weren't my kind of music. And then I just moved on with my day. So
I'm going to make this political. I think the NFL should add an expansion team. And it's all illegal immigrants, Tom.
Okay.
Yeah. And the only way they get to stay is if they have a winning record.
This sounds like some Hunger Games thing. That is, I don't want to say it's outside the realm of possibility now, but
yeah. And they play Bad Bunny through the entire game. You don't even hear the broadcast. It's just actually it's music from all around the world.
Also, what?
No,
so you're saying
commentators? They're just
folks from everywhere.
That makes people angry for some reason.
Just one expansion team though, so you're gonna have an odd number of teams.
I don't care. They're also gonna be girthy, that team.
How would you describe that?
Girthy.
Are the Lions the best team in the NFL right now? I don't think they're the best team, but I want to see them play the Eagles.
Hey Cloud 5280, you're going to want to tune into Power Rankings today if you think they're the best team in the NFL. Don't want to spoil too much.
Mosi is just borking right now. Hey, Clayton Perna.
I think the NFL should move every team to a foreign country.
What?
Instead of playing games overseas, trying to get 16 games, let's just get every team out of America. Now we're gonna get it real political.
Who do you think is going to score next week? That's not obvious. Jamar Chase, and it's not obvious right now.
No, man. You drafted Jamar Chase. You fucked.
I don't know if he's going to.
My prediction of Jamar Chase
Chris Brown maybe
winning MVP because Joe Burrow would miss some time with an injury and we would see just how good he is has been ruined because Jake Browning's that bad.
Yeah. Maybe.
What did I want to talk about?
We can talk about the Jets Dolphins because that's the other Monday night game that we didn't get to. That was also not a good game at all. And the Jets, holy freaking penalties, Batman. And I saw a lot of Jets fans who were not very happy about how that game was officiated. They still almost came back against the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, dislocated knee. Did he also take, it was an ACL injury too?
He tore multiple ligaments, including ACL.
So he had surgery yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Who knows what that status is going to be. He's obviously, if he's tearing ACLs, he's not playing this year.
Oh yeah.
And then it's a matter of, is he going to come back? Because it was, so I finally saw it like hours after we were done with our stream. And I was like, oh, now I understand why the chat reaction was the chat reaction. Like,
yeah, dude, it is.
Like that thing was, it was rough.
It was just the wrong way. I think based on like the reports about it, it's, full reconstructive type surgery. If he comes back, it's not going to be for week 1 next year. I don't believe that. Maybe he's one of those freakish healers like Adrian Peterson. Who knows? You never know how a body's actually going to, heal. But it looks like if he comes back next year, it won't be right away. And the Dolphins have to make a decision on him.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's the type of injury at this point in his career, you're asking, like, is his career over? And it's going to depend on how successful the surgery was and whether or not he wants to play. He already said, like, he wanted to retire early years ago. Like, is he still in that mindset? Definitely hasn't been happy in Miami. In fact, he looked happy to get hurt so he doesn't have to play anymore. That was a joke. Like, he was smiling as he left the field. He was smiling in the ambulance. He was smiling at the hospital. People like, is he happy to be hurt?
What if it was a prosthetic leg, right? And he did this and was like, oh, you know what, guys, you're just going to have to cut me, then signs with the Chiefs.
Go for it. I am not scared of Tyreek Hill at this point.
Drake Maye, dude, I think he's looked better and better, especially these past couple of weeks. And I do think that they're going to be competitive against the Bills. Obviously they beat the crap out of the Panthers, which is not the most impressive thing to do unless you're the Falcons, apparently. But I think that they're starting to build a little bit more. They're starting to be a little bit more of a rhythm. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting as a divisional game because you never know. I think it'll be somewhat competitive. I hope it's competitive. And the Bills, I think their defense, there's some weak points there. So
are the Jets the best winless team in the NFL right now, Tom? They're 0-4, but they've been close.
They're competitive. It ain't the Titans.
They're not good. They're pretty terrible, but
you know what though?
They're better than the Titans for sure.
The Saints are pretty average. The Saints haven't won a game either. It's close. I might give the edge to the Jets, but like Spencer Rattler, besides, I think it wasn't this past.
The Saints might be a little better than the Jets. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucas, he's been great. Yeah. St. Brown is Very, very good. We were talking about him on Monday.
His podcast is getting better too, by the way. The Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast. Him, like the clips with David Montgomery have been really funny. I think they're finding their groove there in the conversations they're having with teammates. But I was watching it about David Montgomery, and he hates being called a power back. He's like, I don't like being called that, and they got into it. And Amon was like, it's like being called a possession receiver. I was like, oh, that's
sure,
yeah,
yeah.
Because it limits like what you're capable of. He's like, did you see that 70-yard run I had? I'm not a power back.
That's right.
I'm shit. I can make some moves.
Denver defense playing versus what you expected preseason. I feel like they're roughly right there.
Yeah, they've been great. They're getting after the quarterback. I think they've got the highest pressure rate in the league. Did we lead? We might lead in sacks as well. It was just kind of one not great game against Indy. And we were still in that game. The Broncos would be, if they had just beat the Colts or the Chargers, be talking about them a little differently. But, now if they beat Philly this week, ooh.
Yeah, that would be impressive. That would definitely be impressive if the Broncos were able to beat Philadelphia. So, real quick, just going about the Monday night game. The Dolphins get their first win of the season. The Jets, they're competitive, right? It's ugly, but they're competitive. For the Dolphins going forward, Achane looked really good, and I think that is something that you build upon and go, okay, like getting him going. There is still a lot of concern about the Miami Dolphins, and they're playing.
Who do they play next?
Oh, they're playing the Panthers. We might see a two. Let's go, baby. This is where they start to turn things around. Not having Tyreek Hill, but the person that I'm focused on now, Jalen Waddle. Like, can Waddle be that guy? And I hope so, man.
Waddle and Waller. It's the Waddle and Waller hour. I think the Panthers are going to win this week because the Panthers are the most confusing team in the NFL.
Sure.
They're bad. They're good. They're bad. They're going to be good again this week. So watch out. You're getting the Panthers on a good week, Miami.
Edward, I get it, but it was like Lil Wayne wanted to play the Super Bowl last year and they got Kendrick, right? Like, he's not from that area. And technically they're in Santa Clara either. Like, I have never
Metallica. Really, I don't think the NFL's eyeing Metallica.
I don't think they're eyeing Metallica right now.
I would love that. It'd
be great. I think they wish they could get Taylor Swift. I think that is they would be very happy.
Turn them down.
Because they would get more. There would be such a spike at halftime for the amount of viewers, and then it would go back down to plummeting. When
Taylor's like, Travis ain't going to be at the Super Bowl. Neither am I. And this
joke's on you, Ram. I wear it both ways. I've worn that hat backwards. I've worn that hat forwards.
Ooh, weird.
That's right. Why? Because sometimes I'm filming so quick, I just put it on, and however it is, it is. So that's how that goes. But yeah, we'll see. Dolphins. We'll see. Again, the songs that I've heard, I've enjoyed. I just heard he puts on a hell of a show. So
I think the NFL should get real cheap and just replay the Prince halftime show.
I mean, that was a great halftime show.
Mash up the Prince and Michael Jackson halftime shows and just replay that.
Yeah, that's working pretty well.
It's music. Everybody's got very different taste in music. So whoever you pick, you're gonna piss off a lot of people because I'm gonna be like, that artist sucks.
That's right.
I fucking hate that music.
Most important thing. After, that's the Packers having more points than the Broncos. They should.
Okay. At least we didn't tie the Cowboys.
Yeah,
we'd either properly win or lose that game.
You know what? That's fair. That is very, very fair. Thursday night, we got another back-to-back NFC West divisional showdowns. We got the 49ers.
That dumb shit.
What'd you say?
So who scheduled that dumb shit? Dude, the NFC West.
That's tough.
Competitive
division.
Kind of boring.
This is the 49ers did not look great against Jacksonville. That O-line was tough. Purdy struggled his first game back, but again, you could also look at the O-line and how bad that was. They're going up against the Rams, and the Rams are another team that seemed like a gritty pain in the ass team this year. I got to feel, I think they're, spoilers, we'll have predictions out late tonight, but I got the Rams winning this one. What do you think, Perna?
Yeah, well, we might get McCorkle, right?
Is Purdy not playing?
Purdy re-aggravated his foot.
Is he potentially going to miss it?
Yeah. Right.
Hopeful toe won't keep him out. All right, so apparently Ricky Pearsall, they're expected to be questionable. Got it. Got it. Okay.
We'll see. Yeah,
I agree with that, Benjamin.
Give me the Rams. The Rams got to win this game.
Yeah.
I basically said the week that I don't hear about a 49ers injury is when I'll start to believe in them again.
It's fair.
They're playing like they're competitive. They had they started 3-0. I'm not rooting against the Niners, but Puka Nacua is playing out of his mind right now. Stafford had 375 and 3 touchdowns last week, and I feel like nobody talked about Matthew Stafford at all. Like they just expect it. Their defense gets after opposing quarterbacks. I think Byron Young leads. He's tied for 5 sacks right now. Yeah, I like the Rams. It should be it's probably going to be a very kind of ugly game. I feel like it's going to be like one of those like 17-13 type victories or a 20-17. But
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be it's an interesting week. I get to have stress-free football, which I'm very much looking forward to. Packers.
Oh yeah, you got a bye week, huh?
I got a bye week. And you know who they're playing out at the bye? The Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, the get right team.
Until they trade for a quarterback after this week. And then, because that's just the way life goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be it'll be an interesting week. I say.
Nice.
It'll be interesting. But Perna, what do you got coming out today? Got power rankings?
Power ranking. Power. Give me more power, Dillon.
Do you have any more? I don't know if you ever.
No, I'm done.
Got it. Okay. Here we go. Last night, it was like 11 o'clock Eastern that I put it out. But if the NFL was scripted week 4, put that out. Power rankings also came out last night. Today or later tonight, it'll be predictions. And then also, because I couldn't do it yesterday because it came out so late, member Q&A for September, which I missed. It'll be tonight. And then I'll just do another one in October. So that'll be tonight.
Nice.
Don't know what time yet. Probably around like 6:30 Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern, so around there. So
there you go. How many away are you from a milli?
Dude, we've actually, so it's less than 95K now. Yeah, so we hit 900K late last week. And so it's been climbing. So we hit 905 yesterday. We probably will hit 906 today.
Nice.
So we're
nice.
That's tough to come out of the bye. But yeah, folks, getting closer and closer to that milli. I think January, February. So I think that's
I hope you get it on January 6th.
Why?
I wanted to make it political again.
Oh, okay.
And I hope I get $1 million on 9/11, Tom.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think you're going to get it after the 2026 season. I think you're on.
Yeah. Well, let's see what.
Yeah, I think at the end of the 26, 27
towards the end
season.
of 2026.
Yeah, I think at the end of the 26.
Slowing down. You never know.
This is what we aim
Tom Grossi hits 1 million subs on January 6th to pay homage to his favorite day in American history.
That is very false.
Tom Grossi, known January 6th. He would have been there if he wasn't working, is what Tom says.
I was working 2 jobs back then, so it's true. But fuck.
You and Nick Bosa.
I was about to say, could have seen the Bosas. Damn it! I should have said it a little bit close. Oh, real quick.
It's 100% happening now on January 6th. I can feel it, guys.
If you have not seen this, it was the Spanish broadcast of Tutu Atwell scoring that touchdown. It was phenomenal.
Oh, I didn't.
It's worth. It'll take like 20 seconds out of your day. Very, very, very good.
Nice.
So yeah, let's do it. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on Friday for another edition of GPS. But I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated. Ow, I stabbed myself.
Yes, really. Tom loves that day.
No. That was a day. Yeah.